Exclamation, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Cube World. And I am at the ruins of Gemor here. This is an area that I haven't encountered yet in this series, so I'm kind of excited to see what this has in store for me. And luckily it looks like it's just my level, so that's always a good thing. Let me swap out to my dog here, so he gets a little bit more melee combat skills, and we'll just take care of these guys real fast. So it's been a while since I've gotten a Cube World episode out. For those who did not see my previous one, I've turned Cube World into sort of a occasional series. Same with my Minecraft series and a few others as well. The reason for that being, oh, there's a lot of guys here. The reason for that being that there are a lot of games out that I want to play, and they are mostly story-based games. Which is good because they have sort of I don't want to say a shelf life, but they have sort of a definitive start and end, right? So I know that eventually, for instance, Starpoint Gemini, I know that I am pretty far along in there. I don't know exactly how long it's going to take, but I know that I must be getting close to the end because the battles are getting to be a bit crazy as far as the difficulty goes. And I'll probably talk about that a little bit in my Starpoint Gemini episodes. But also I'm finding it particularly difficult to commentate on sandbox-like games. One of the things that I thought of while I was, dreaming up the idea of having a Let's Play channel, I watch a lot of Let's Players, and the vast majority of the ones that I watch have some sort of sandbox game that they play regularly and commentate on. And they all seem to follow the same sort of pattern where when there is no story, when the game doesn't offer a story, basically it becomes a sort of a vlog-like experience where they might talk about things other than the game that's going on, or, in the case of Minecraft, they might talk about what they're actually building and why they're building it, but that seems to be rarer than just the general, let's talk about what's ever on our mind, to pass the time. And I thought, when I would start this, that I would rather have the game take more central focus than the personality, because, frankly, I don't have a personality in real life or in fantasy. So it's sort of forces me to rely more on what's going on in the game to sort of keep the flow going, which is why up to this point the way I've been editing these Cube World videos, and to a certain lesser extent my Minecraft videos, is focusing them, laser focus on just the battles, and there's always something going on the screen, and sort of the commentary is there to, I guess, pull it all together, provide something a little bit different. Problem is, as I've come to realize, you get to a certain point in a sandbox game and there's really not much more you can comment on as far as the game itself, unless the game is constantly being updated. which even in Minecraft terms, that's difficult to do. I mean, it takes months to update games, even with small features. So that being said, I've decided that, you know, I'm sort of going off on tangents here. When I first started, I thought, well, you know, that's how I'm going to focus. I'm just going to edit them down to the bare bones and keep my commentary to sections where there's a lot of action going on, whenever possible. It is difficult to do two things at once. But I'm thinking that I'm going to diverge from that, starting with this episode. I'm probably going to start showing more stuff. Yeah, maybe not this episode, maybe the next episode or so, but I'm going to start showing more of the footage in here that I would have normally cut. Mostly because this game in particular, for whatever reason, I like to jump in here and just explore. I spend hours just exploring stuff. And you don't get to see any of that because I'm not usually recording, because I know I'm going to be doing relatively boring stuff. And I feel like that's a large part of the game you're just missing out on. It's just me just going around exploring. The secondary reason for this as well is that there are a lot of games. I've been keeping up, you know, I'm a big game, I wouldn't say aficionado, but I keep up to date with a lot of indie games. I track a lot of them, and there are quite a few out there that I've been looking at and keeping an eye on that don't have demos or any kind of way for me in the traditional Let's Play sense to give them props and say, hey, you might want to look at this game. You might want to keep this on your radar. You might want to play this. This looks really interesting. So I feel like I could get the best of both worlds here, where, yes, granted, I'm going to turn the Cube World series into more of a vloggy type series, for better or for worse. I mean, I'm sure I know there are plenty of videos out there that I watch, or that I have playing in the background while I do things, say in Minecraft or even in Cube World here, and just sort of listen to them rather than look at them. I mean, the Minecraft videos are a good example of that, where it's just, you know, you've pretty much seen all you can see in Minecraft. You've seen one block, you've seen them all at some point. So it's more, it becomes more of a listening exercise, where you get to just listen to your favorite LPer just ranting or otherwise just farting around in their favorite game. So we've got a boss there, Frightener. Let's draw this guy. So that is, it's a direction change, but I think it'll be an okay one. From this point forward, I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to restrict it just to Cube World. I think for the time being I will. I may do other sandbox games as well in this sort of format. But for right now, I think sticking with Cube World will be a good thing. So that being said, what does that really mean? since I'm rambling on, it basically means I'm going to continue rambling. Rambling and rambling. There are already other Cube World episodes out there where I sort of go off on a ramble, on a tangent. So this, I suppose, fits in well with those. what am I going to ramble off and tangent on? Usually game stuff, but occasionally you might get a little extra added bonus where I start put my programmer hat on and start talking about crazy and weird stuff that maybe half of you don't understand. But I just need to get them off my chest. I'll try to keep that to a minimum. Mostly I want to talk about games and things that I've been working on the side. Accomplishments, if you will, to try to that I don't necessarily have footage for yet, or that I'm working on footage for. Just to sort of, give you a little look behind the scenes at how the sausage is made, so to speak. Alright, it looks like I have cleared out this place pretty well here. So I will cut here, I believe, and jump back in, and perhaps, depending on what I jump back in on, we'll have another topic to talk about. We'll see in a moment. Alright, I've started recording again because I just ran headlong into a ginormous stout beetle here, or snout beetle. Stout beetle. I'm being attacked by beer. I wanted to very quickly just start recording here, since it's the first time I've encountered one of these guys, or one of these giant guys here. And seem to be doing okay so far. He's blue label, so it's a little bit above my current level, but I seem to be getting some good damage in on him. It's, yeah, it's almost taken care of. There we go. 124 XP, that's awesome. Did it drop anything? Wind Spirit, 63. Ooh. That's above my level. Oh, that's good. Awesome. Alright. Let me head off and find some more adventure, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys. I have something to show off here. Off camera, I was just walking around, and I came upon Curie's Splendid Wood Crossbow. Or Kirkuries, or however you want to pronounce that. Plus 53. This is a yellow item. This is the first one that I've gotten that's actually for my class. It's tremendous. You can see the damage is more than double my other bow that I had. It's terrific. I've already tested it out a little bit. I'm wrecking faces. So of course, I have returned to the catacombs here, since I was not able to defeat them last time. I'm ready to take them on now with my badass crossbow of badassery. And get some sweet revenge and some leveling up here as well. Oh, that's right. Have these guys attack you as well. A little bit of help. Excellent. Thanks for the help, guys. Alright, so we're on to my first topic here of the new format. I have been working tirelessly, if you will, on the ability to record footage from my Android tablet. There are some indie mobile games out there that have struck my fancy, and I wanted to be able to give them some props. So first of all, I picked up the Humble Mobile Bundle 2, which had several games in it. Now I don't own any iOS devices. I'm not big on Apple myself, but I do have a Nexus 10 tablet here with Android on it. So I encountered one of the games. There's two games that came in that bundle that I really enjoy. One of them is, and of course I'm not going to remember the name of it. Star Command, I believe it was. That's a really neat game. It's unfortunately, I've been playing a little bit of it, and it's unfortunately one of those games that I don't think I'll be able to record it. Because it is very slow. Very, very slow paced. There's a lot of dead time in it. So, I am not at that point where I can where I can fill in that much dead time. There's quite a lot. Now maybe that'll be something that will be good for this format that I'm coming up with, this whole Sunday rambling, where I just ramble off about whatever's on my mind. But I think I'll restrict that to Cube World for right now, since my enjoyment of this game is in the exploration, which tends to be the most boring part for a lot of people. It's like caving in Minecraft. It's very interesting when you're doing it, but it's not interesting in watching somebody else do it. So yeah, I've been playing Star Command. I've also been playing Ravensword 2, or at least Ravensword Shadowlands. I believe it's the second one in their series. I don't know for certain. So I've been playing that. That is a RPG, first person / third person, very reminiscent of an Elder Scrolls game. A lot of people are comparing it to Skyrim, and I see, from what I've seen of Skyrim, it bears a good resemblance to it. Although I never played Skyrim, I played Oblivion. It was very familiar to me, even in that sense. The thing with that is, and this kind of is the thing that afflicts me, I think, a lot when I start out a new series. I don't have a whole lot of footage yet. I don't have a whole lot of footage that I want to keep. Let's put it that way. I have about an hour and 40 minutes recorded. That's over 2 play sessions, because being on the tablet, I'm sort of hunched over, and I can only play for about an hour before my old bones decide that they're going to complain. And the thing is, I've repeatedly died. I mean, the footage is kinda... There's some good redeemable footage there, but probably only about 15 minutes. 15 minutes worth. So that might end up being like a occasional series of maybe 15-minute videos. Once I get a little bit of a backlog on it. Recording that, though, has been an interesting experience. Anybody who is familiar with the new tablets and the new... I don't know if the iPhones do it, but I know a lot of the new Android phones have this, have the HDCP protection on them, which is basically... if your device, you can hook up an HDMI cable to it and hook it up to a TV as long as that TV or that device supports the HDCP encryption, i.e. it can decrypt those videos. Unfortunately, most of the hardware dongles that are used for recording, or at least the popular ones, do not allow that, which makes sense. I mean, you don't want, you can't really, it's a legal gray area to put devices out there that sort of allow you to skirt those restrictions. However, because it's an Android operating system, I can go in and do whatever I want. In this case, because it's open source, so I can see all the code. So in this case, it became a matter of rooting my device, unlocking the bootloader, and I loaded up a CyanogenMod on it. 10.1 is the latest stable one as of right now. 10.2 I think is still in pre-release. And basically what that did was give me access to access to root. You know, give me a terminal emulator and access to the developer menu. Well, items in the developer menu that you don't normally have access to, even in the stock Android. So if you, what was it? If you go under like About Tablet or About Phone, one of the items in there, I think it's the build number. If you click on that 7 times or tap on it 7 times, you gain access to the developer menu, which allows you to do like USB debugging, and you can change the way OpenGL or Mobile GL, whatever it is, works, and it's some tweaks that they don't necessarily support, so they don't want to give you the end user necessarily access to them. Unfortunately, from that menu, from stock anyway, they've removed the disable HDCP support, or checking, I should say. So I put CyanogenMod on there because that's back in there. It's stock Android, right? It wasn't removed. Unfortunately, that didn't actually help. It turns out that that property, at least for my tablet, for the Nexus 10, the hardware on it, the what is it, Exynos 5 or however they pronounce it, uses a completely different property to tell it whether or not to encrypt the HDMI output. Long story short, I looked through the code, because it's all open source again, and found out how to disable it. And now, using that and my, I bought the Hauppauge HD PVR 2 Gaming Pro Shindig Sweetness Edition hardware recording device that takes HDMI inputs, and then you USB cable it to your computer, install the software, and bingo bango, you're recording right off of the hardware. So I have that all set up, and that appears to be working. There's some interesting challenges. For one thing, all of your audio has to go through the HDMI cable in order to be, all the game audio that is, in order to be picked up, to be recorded. And the hardware dongle itself does not do raw files. It automatically goes and encodes in H264, renders basically on the fly your videos, whereas from Fraps or something like that, I would get a raw video and then I have to render it myself. So because of that, there is about, for me at least, there's been about a 2-second delay between what's actually taking place on the tablet and the audio that I'm hearing in my headphones, because it's going through the computer. And by extension, what video is showing up on the computer. Now, the end result is you get a video that is fully in sync. It's just while it's recording, there's that delay. Which makes things rather interesting because you can't really... You're hearing enemy sounds 2 seconds after they actually happen, so by that point you're already being attacked. Also, and this doesn't have to do with the encoding or anything like that, but the game itself, I've been having lots of trouble with the input on it. Essentially, it has... You put your hands on either side of the tablet and you use your thumbs, and your left hand is for movement of your character and your right hand is for the viewport and which way you're viewing. And also there's buttons on screen to do, you know, attack or jump and things like that. Just the movement alone is taking me a long time just to get used to that. I've had to adjust the sensitivity a few times. Luckily they had a sensitivity slider on there. But in addition to that, the buttons that they actually provide you on screen, I've been finding there's an input delay. Significantly enough that I've been just getting my ass handed to me repeatedly by monsters. So I'm hoping that I somehow overcome those limitations so that I can continue playing and recording, because it might end up being that if I can't get very much further than where I'm at, because I'm stuck right now, then those videos will never see the light of day because there won't be anything to show off. Looks like we've gotten to the boss here. That's good. Take this guy out. This crossbow is terrific. This is... The game is completely different now. It's just by getting this one weapon here. So, on to more topics here. What else have I been doing? I've been looking at E12, which is a space combat game. If you look on my channel, you'll see the side quest video I did of the demo. And I've been part of the Kickstarter on that thing, so I have access to the beta. I won't be showing any of the storyline of the beta because I feel weird doing that. This is a gray area that sort of has come up for me, at least, as I'm thinking about these videos. Is that there's a couple Kickstarters that I'm a part of and that I've supported. A couple Kickstarter projects that I've supported. So I have access to a couple betas, but some of them are, and alphas for that matter, but some of them are only available to Kickstarter people, to backers, I should say. And I feel bad about putting videos up there, right? Because I'm sort of like, that's a perk for, you know, contributing to them, and I'm sort of taking that perk away a little bit by putting videos up, even though my goal is noble. I just want to get the word out about the videos, about the games. So I'm skirting the edge there a little bit. With Ethereum, I think I can potentially put video up as soon as they get a demo out of the simulator missions, and I'm expecting that to come out in a few weeks. Actually, there is a simulator right now. I tried to record it, but the game crashed a few times, and it ended up being that I was able to pick a ship that didn't have a cockpit fully fleshed out yet. So I actually excuse me, there was actually one mission where I played with a cockpit that was completely gray. There was no instrumentation or anything, which is hilarious and a very different experience. But I sort of want to wait until it's a little bit more baked before I put a video out of that. And I think when I do put a video out, it's only going to be the simulator and the historical missions that are available in the simulator. Because then I'm not giving away the storyline, and I'm not really taking away from any of the Kickstarter backers' ability to get something early. Excuse me. And I think that's what I'm going to do going forward with other games. There's another game, Collateral, which is a Crazy Taxi meets Fifth Element type of game. And there's actually there's a good amount of gameplay actually in that alpha that I have. But again, the alpha, as far as I know, at least as of right now, is only available to people who kickstarted it, and there are only about 300 people who kickstarted it. So I feel particularly bad if I were to release a video of that. So I'm going to wait on that, hopefully until they have some kind of public demo, or at least until they have a way for the general public to participate in it and gain access to it. Alright, I have officially cleared out that place and gotten my revenge. I think I'm going to cut away again, and I'll be back with you when I have some more exciting action.